Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Thank you for tuning in to the JT Effect. Also, thank you for tuning in to the Black Boss channel. If you're just now coming in, please hit the like button, hit the share button, leave a comment to let us know what you think, as we're about to go into a really interesting topic today. I've been seeing this for a while, and the topic is Kevin Samuels right or wrong? And for those who don't know who Kevin Samuels is, he is like a relationship guy. He's an image consultant, but his star has been rising on YouTube. So before we really get into that today, let me hit the intro, and then we'll be right back with the topic.
Just share with me your thoughts. Don't be afraid to talk to me and show me who you are. I wanna know. Talk to me.
It's the JT Effect. No one can make you feel like that. It's the JT Effect. No one can make you feel like that.
Talk to me. Just
Hey, what's up? Everybody that's tuning in, please hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this topic, because we're about to dive in. I am your host again, John F. Thomas, and we're going to be diving into a really interesting topic today. And we're going to be talking about Kevin Samuels. And the question is Kevin Samuels right or wrong? And for those who don't know, again, who Kevin Samuels is, I'm pretty sure all of you know who he is. He is an image consultant and almost like a relationship almost guru, I guess you can say, or just he's a person that gives advice. He's a guy that gives advice online. His star has been rising online, and I see the people coming in. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Yeah, I'm glad you caught the live too, Tanya. What's going on, Jeff Underwood? What's going on, B1? To everybody that's tuning in, again, please hit that like button so the more people can see this, because I think this is important, man, that we really talk about this. And what's going on, J. Rowe Barnett? Again, what's up, Tanya T? See y'all coming in. I appreciate it. And just go ahead and type in the comments what's your thoughts so far about Tanya said he's a horrible image consultant. Oh, shit, you're already flying off the handle, I tell you. Actually, I'm going to be doing something a little different today, slightly different. If you want to tune in live and give your thoughts, I'll give you up to a minute to where you can tune in live. And all you got to do is go to the JT Effect on Facebook and send me a message. If you want to come on here live, I'll give you the link on how to do that, and you can give me your thoughts from there. So definitely do it. Actually, I'll type in the link here so that way y'all can know where to go. That should be it. All right, cool. So you can go there and you can hop on if you want to give your thoughts, and I'll send you the link, and you can tell me what you think. So I want to hear from the people if you can do it. So all right. So I just want to talk about Kevin Samuels. He's an image consultant. He gives advice on relationships, and a lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. And I just think it's really interesting how this has really taken off. Actually, I'll show you a picture of who I'm talking about for those who don't know, again, who I'm talking about. Everybody, most people should know, but if you don't, that's fine. But this is who I'm referring to, Kevin Samuels. So the thing with Kevin Samuels is, he gives these, and Tanya already has her 2 cents in. She says image consultants or relationship coaches should be positive, not vile. Okay, all right, cool. So I hear that. Anaya, I hope I'm saying that right. Anaya Black says he's a con artist. Okay, all right. So we're already getting those thoughts in. I think it's really interesting what because he started out as this guy who he was more so like talking to different men and would be giving them advice on what's going on. And to me, it was kind of funny because, man, he would be saying some stuff that it'd be like, wow, he would just be going clean off on a dude after a while because the dude, just wasn't completely being honest with himself, and and it was pretty funny. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find that video so y'all can see what I'm talking about, where he's talking to this guy. I'm trying to find a clip, but anyway, there's this video in question that I'm talking about where he's talking to this guy, and basically the guy is talking about he's looking for this woman and she has to do this and has to do that and all this other stuff. And he was like, let me ask you a question, man. Like, like what's your waist size? Like, huh? Like, what's your you heard me. So basically, he started like kind of going in like, what's your weight? And the guy was basically, I think he was saying like, I'm like 260 or something like that. He's like, okay, so you're 260, and he started, like asking a few other questions and things like that. And basically, what he derived to is just like, man, look, you saying you want this woman that is this and that, has a fine body and has money and brings all this and that to the table. He said, but you're this big dude. Oh, he asked him, he's like, what's your penis size? He was like, oh man, I'm all right. I'm pretty. I was like, nah, like you got a big penis. You got a big piece. Like, I mean, it's like, nah. So you don't. And he cut him off. He was like, you don't have a big penis. Like, I know I have one. And I'll be honest. He is harsh. He is, but he just cuts straight. He cuts straight through the BS, and he tells it like it is from my observation. And that can turn a lot of people off, which a lot of people saying they don't like that, and I can understand it. I can understand how you don't like the straightforwardness, the cutting straight through the BS to get straight to what he's trying to say. And it can be hurtful, what he's saying. But and I actually this is what somebody out, this is the point I'm getting to. K Business Podcast said, oh no, sorry, no, that's Malik said, as long as Kevin was tough on men, women said nothing. And this is what I'm getting to with that point. So he told the guy, he was like, you don't have a big penis, you're really, really, really big, and you are sitting here demanding that a woman has all this and has all that, and she's this size and she has this much money, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But look at yourself. Look at what you're bringing to the table. And don't get me, I remember my coworker showed me this, and man, we were busting out laughing. I was like, man, that's harsh, but I mean, that's truthful. You can't be almost 300 pounds and talking about you want to model or something like that, and she has to have this much money, and you ain't even making that much money, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what I see, what he's bringing there is honesty. It's harsh. It's really, 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 really harsh, but it's honest. And the guy called him. Now let's think about this too. These people are reaching out to him, calling in, and some of them already know he's going to do that. Some they know this, so they already know what it is when they call in, so for you to think something different, you just don't know who this guy is. It's just like when you call into your favorite radio personality on the radio, and he says whatever, and he hangs up on you. Oh, you a donkey, whatever, and hits all the different noise. You know what it is when you're calling in. But the thing is, nobody gets on the radio personalities when they are rude to the people that's calling into them, because the audience already knows what's up, right? Now let's be honest. Again, for everybody that is joining in, please hit the like button. And man, I see y'all are lighting up the comments, and I love it. I love hearing your thoughts. And please leave your thoughts on if he is right or wrong in his approach and all of this stuff. So that being said, and I'm just trying to bring that clarity to it all, right? So he is harsh, but that's his personality. That's why he is blowing them. Actually, when he was doing all this to men, in fairness to him, a lot of people weren't really getting on him, weren't beating him up like they are now. But as soon as he says some of these same things to women, and remember, there's a lot of women that's like, okay, I want fairness, treat me just like a man. I want to be paid equal to a man, which they should. I'm not even gonna argue that. You should. You do the same job, you should get the same pay. So let me go ahead and say that. So I don't want any women on beating up on me, you know. So let me go ahead and say that. But also, if you want fairness, you have to also have the fairness of what if he's going to say this to these men, chances are he's going to say the same thing to you as a woman. Now, I do understand because some people say, oh, he should say it a little nicer. He shouldn't say it so harshly. He should say it with a different, and I hear that. But also that kind of goes back to something to where when it comes to men, I'll say this, when it comes to men, it is okay universally across the board to be harsh, to be cruel, to be whatever. You can beat up on a man, and we'll see. There'll be people who post up stuff about a man. Let's be honest. On Facebook, on Instagram, a man says something crazy. They beat the mess out of this dude. They say this, they say that, and they say the other. And actually, somebody brought up a good point. And I'm going to be honest again, and I might not be liked for this, but it is what it is. Somebody mentioned Aisha Curry. Remember, she was saying she wants attention from she would like to get attention from more men. Okay, she's in this relationship with Steph Curry, and she wants to get more attention from other men. And a lot of women came to her defense saying, "Oh, I understand, because as you get older, you want more people to, you just want to feel beautiful. You want to look beautiful. You want to feel beautiful." And okay, and again, I get that. I'm not even gonna knock her for that. I'm not gonna knock anybody for that. I get that. From that standpoint, I completely get it. But okay, here we go with the let's be honest though. Let's be completely honest. Let's be completely fair. Now think about it. Flip it. Now, if there was a man, a famous celebrity said, "Man, I just really want more women, to look at me. I want women to, like find me attractive and stuff like that." Would they be treated with the same acceptance? Would they be treated with the same understanding, the same love that Aisha found from a lot of women? Now, remember, she was shaming a lot of other women. Oh, yeah, out here dressed, in a sense, like you dressing like this and you need to dress more modestly and all this other stuff. Now, all of a sudden, I wish more men would look at me and blah, 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 blah. And okay, and again, I get it. I completely understand. But would she get that same acceptance? Would she get that same understanding? Would she get that same love, that same compassion if it had been a man that said that? If LeBron James, which he wouldn't say that, but if LeBron James came out and said, "Man, I just wish I get just more attention from women," or Will Smith or whoever, you insert random male celebrity here, "I wish I can get more attention from women," blah blah blah, man, they would tear this dude apart. They would tear him apart. So in that sense, it's okay for men to get beat up, to get dragged, to get et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to women, well, you have to understand. It's almost like there starts to become excuses to a point. I'm not going to say across the board. I'm not going to say with everything, but there is a bias. There is a difference there. So with that being said, going back to Kevin Samuels, so Kevin Samuels, he is keeping it real with these guys that are calling in, that are asking for advice, and honestly, they need to be told the truth. But a lot of people sitting there thinking like, "Oh, they can take it, they're fine, yeah, it's the man, whatever, blah blah blah." But then when a woman calls in and she says, "I'm expecting this, I'm expecting A, B, C, D, E, F, G," and some of those things, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But then he starts asking the same questions, and all of a sudden, now we start seeing people like, "Oh, he's a beta male. Oh, he's gay. Oh, he's all that," and it's just like, why? Okay, so with that, if we are going to criticize this man, if we're going to criticize him, we need to start becoming more mature with our criticize. We can't be reaching for the low hanging fruit. You know, like once you start name calling and stuff like that, that's really and again, there's gonna be people that probably don't like this, but that's very emotionally immature. That's emotionally and this is emotionally immature. That's not mature. Also, there needs to be more, my point of view. This is my thing. There needs to be more accountability within the Black community. Now, I know there's a lot of things that's going on in the Black community that are outside of our control. There are things that like weapons and drugs being pushed in that we can't control, and I understand that, and I will acknowledge that, and I will understand we have Black people, we have a harder life than every other race on this earth. We live a harder life. We have a lot of trauma within our community. Also, we need a lot of help, just to be honest, and just to be serious. So, with all of that being said, though, a lot of us are going around, especially, and it probably seems like I really hate the Democrats. I don't, but I'm just really seeing a lot of what the Democrats are doing. But we're getting that victim complex pushed on us to where we're not taking control and responsibilities of the things that we can take control and responsibilities of, right? So in that sense, we have to start being more accountable for some of our actions. So like with the guy, with the big guy that Kevin Samuels was talking to, and he was telling him like, you're almost 300 pounds. And let's be honest, he is at a huge health risk. You're asking a woman to be this, be that, and the other. You don't have any money. You aren't physically fit. How are you going to protect this woman in case she needs it? If somebody comes up, how are you going to protect her? I mean, you can't. And that's just being real. Because there are things that men are expected to do in a relationship. If you have a woman, you are expected to protect her and to look after her and your children. This is my clan. This is my family. I am going to protect them. But you can't do that if you are almost 300 pounds. You can't do that. I mean, somebody probably likes it. That's fine. But the majority of women are not going to go after a 300-pound dude that doesn't have a lot of money. Let's just be serious. Let's just be completely honest. Let's just be serious. And I feel as though, yes, it was harsh. Could he have said it a different way? Yes, he could have said it a different way. But that's how he says it. That's how he does it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But don't start calling him, oh, this beta male and this. And I saw Umar Johnson was kind of, and I don't know if he really was, but it seemed like there was a shot being taken at Kevin Samuels, or just like attacking a woman. But also, again, if we can hold men accountable, why can we not hold women accountable for some of the things that might be a little far-fetched, which might be out of the reach with this guy that's almost 300 pounds? What he was asking for was far-fetched, was a little bit out of reach. And Kevin was like, I'm going to bring you back to reality. Now, if you don't want my harshness, don't call me. You can talk to somebody else, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not mad at it. The same thing like here. If whatever that I put up, whatever I post, whatever I stream, if you don't like it, that is fine. I'm not here to force you to like what I like or force you to agree with what I'm saying. That's not the case. I'm here to speak my thought, and then you can form whatever you want from that. And I still respect you for that. I respect everybody that's coming on here. I respect all of y'all for having your thoughts, or even I really respect people. The people I really respect, and I've been working on this a lot myself, is when you're given new information, can you take in that information and potentially have it change? Not somebody force you to change your opinion, but it's just like, you know what? I didn't really see it like that. Okay, I'm gonna have to reconsider what you said, because initially I came in saying this. Now I'm thinking different from what you're saying. So I really respect, because it takes a lot to humble yourself and be like, man, you know what? Okay, I was wrong. And a lot of people don't want to do that. And I will say, so I know I've been talking a lot. Let me see what people are saying. Somebody saying it's all our fault for too left to learn. I'm not saying no, it's all our fault. I'm saying that there are, and maybe, and I don't know. I'm trying to remember where you were saying that maybe when I was going back to like the Black community, there are certain things within the Black community that we can be accountable for, if that's what you're talking about. There are certain things that we can be accountable for. You know, not everything. You know, because some stuff are out of our control. You can only control what you can control. Stuff that you can't control, there's only so much you can do. Because like we can't necessarily overthrow the government, right? You know, we can't necessarily do, not right now. You know, we can make a plan and potentially get there. But right now, there's other steps we can take in order to get to where we're trying to go. For instance, for me, I've had a relationship before where I've been severely hurt, you know, but now there's two things I can do. Either I can play victim and be like, oh, all these women are out here, all these women are like this, all these women are like that. Or I can sit here and be like, you know what? This relationship, there was red flags in that relationship that I ignored. I chose wrong at that point. So I have to be accountable for what happened with that relationship and going forward. Now, if I keep choosing the same people and I'm just ignoring red flags, that's my fault. I have to be accountable. And that's all I'm saying here. So with the guy that Kevin Samuels was talking to, almost 300 pounds, you have to be accountable for that. You have been letting yourself go, but yet you're demanding that somebody else be basically look like Wonder Woman. Like that's not realistic. You are a hypocrite. And I'll say this a lot of times and I know I saw somebody say, you know, we keep tearing down one another. I can't remember where I saw that one at, but I wanted to touch on that too. Why do we have to, when we have these Black figures or people who are potentially trying to help, again, you don't have to like what this man is how he says it, how he does it, but he's also trying to help. There's these people calling and he's trying to, and there are women who have said, this man has helped change my life. I had issues with my child's father before, but now that I really like listened to what he said, we've been better. We're good now. You know, I used to hate this man, but now we're good. And that's a beautiful thing if you think about it. Now, I don't know what the relationship is. I don't know what it was, but the beautiful thing about it is now that child, where their parents were separate, are now more amicable with one another. They're now more connected with one another. Now, I'm not saying this all Kevin Samuels, but, you know, because this person said, hey, you know what, this man has helped me. Because I was out here, you know, looking almost everywhere else. It's almost like sometimes like the grass is green on the other side, but then you go on the other side, oh, it's not so green. Now, I'm not saying but some of y'all in some bad situations. Don't stay in those bad situations. If the situation is bad, keep it moving and love yourself. But a lot of times we don't really, because of this government and how they've been treating the Black community and how they've been really affecting us and splitting us apart, we aren't together like we should be, like we used to be. You know, men aren't respecting the women, women aren't respecting the men, and that's just being real. You know, so and somebody said, I wanted to share this conscious. He said, either we tell it like it is or we continue to beat around the bush. And that's just being real. A lot of times, a lot of people, for instance, okay, Derek Jackson, right? Derek Jackson. Y'all remember this guy? Y'all remember Derek Jackson? This dude, there was a lot of women who loved him. They loved Derek Jackson. They loved this guy. And he was going around basically telling a lot of men, telling women that whatever happened in their relationship for it not to work, it's the man's fault. It's his fault. Oh, well, see, he should have been doing this, and you a queen, so you deserve better. You deserve this and you deserve that. And I'm not saying that isn't true in some cases. That can be true. to where this man has been treating you wrong and you deserve better. And for sure, you do. You do deserve better. But also, it's not always, see, I don't adhere to when a person is always saying it's somebody else's fault. It's always saying it's this person's fault. It's always saying it's somebody else's fault. And they're not asking you, well, what did you do? What did you do in their relationship? So I have a friend, one of my best friends, he'll tell me about the things that happened in his relationship and what his girl did, and man, pissed me off and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. But one thing I give him credit for, because I do not hear a lot of people say this. A lot of people do not say this, where it's just like, you know what, this happened and I was wrong for that. I'll admit that I was wrong for that. I shouldn't have did that. And I just said, I'm like, man, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people aren't honest with themselves by saying, you know what I did wasn't right. That was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. Because people want to be right so much. You want to be right so much that you can't stand to fathom what would happen if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, the whole world would end. And it's just like, no, it won't. The world will not end. There's nothing wrong with humbling yourself. That's called growth. See, a lot of us are so afraid of, actually, I think it's like being vulnerable. So afraid of showing their vulnerability. And I get it, I understand. But that is the path to growth. If you can't be vulnerable and honest and humble, you will never grow. That's why we have so many grown people who are walking around acting like children. That's why so many of us have grown up and we look around like, man, I used to think grown-ups knew everything. Now I'm grown up and there's a lot of grown idiots. There's a lot of grown, immature people. There are really grown, immature people. And then you have people like this guy here, Derek Jackson. Again, because people, if you think about a lot of the people who are really trying to help others, they're always hurt the most, right? They're always hurt the most. They're chastised, they're thrown under the bus, and all these other things. Whether you like them or not, whether you like their approach or not, I think that, for instance, Kevin Samuels is actually trying to help people. He's really trying to, not for himself, not to get any really kind of personal gain. He's just like, hey, I'm trying to give you, whether you take the advice or not, that's on you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, somebody like this dude, Derek Jackson, he's a charlatan. To tell you those honey lies, tells you what you don't want to hear. And so now you turn around and find out that he's lying. He's been lying. He's been cheating on his wife, and he kind of got this mind control over his wife, and he's using her religion against her for him to still stay in a relationship. He's a manipulator. He's a heavy manipulator. Now, this dude, I can see y'all turn this dude down. People who are really bad for the community, this man is bad for the community, because all he does is tell women what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. What they want to hear, not what they need to hear. And it's hurting Black families. It's hurting Black families. It's hurting Black people. It's hurting the kids. It's hurting your kids, because you're listening to people like this dude and you need the truth. And if you find it hard for yourself to accept truth because you want to be told these honeyed lies from somebody like Derek Jackson, go seek some therapy. I'm not saying this as to be funny. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad or make you feel stupid. No, but seriously, you need to seek therapy, because that is something that is prohibiting you from growth. That is something that's prohibiting you from growing and moving past yourself. See, a lot of times, a lot of us think that there's a lot of people out there who are hurting us, but in reality, it's us who are hurting us. You are standing in your own way from being loved. You are standing in your own way from growing. You are standing in your own way from really being the best version of yourself, from having the best life that you can have. So I'm saying all this to say a lot of times we're throwing stones at the wrong people. Now, you can not like Kevin Samuels' presentation. You cannot like how he goes about it and saying stuff. But I'll just compare it like this. When you're sick, do you want to take medicine? Do you want to? I mean, because the medicine is bitter, right? Some of the medicine is bitter. It's like, do you want to go get the shot? Do you want to go get the surgery? Do you want the surgery? Where it's going to leave you in pain a few days afterwards? Where it's going to sit you down for a week? Nobody wants the surgery. Nobody wants the pain. But that's what you need. That's what you need in order to get better, in order to grow. And that's what happens when people hear truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. The election that we just had, when Boyce was trying to tell a truth, a lot of people throwing him out, man, Boyce, you should just tell, we should vote Democrat. We should just vote this. We should just vote that. When he was just, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the truth. So if you're going to look at that, look at that. When people tell the truth, they get shunned because people just want beautiful lies. Let me live in this bubble of lies. It feels better, but it's not making your life better. It's not making your life better. Again, for everybody that's tuning in, please hit the like button. I'm sorry, I've been just going on this rant. Please hit the like button, share the video, and leave your comments. I see that y'all leaving the comments. And somebody says, can anybody tell us what Kevin Samuel's standard of beauty is? That I'm not entirely sure. That I'm not. So if people want to chime in their thoughts, for those who watch him more than I, because I'm a really busy guy, so I can't just be following him that much, not religiously, but and I think Red Stars said the pendulum swings both ways. All couples have issues, and the art of love comes in working things out. And that's honest. That's just being truthful. And that also comes with accountability. Hello, ding, 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 ding. Accountability. Accountability. Put hashtag accountability. That we really, really, really need some accountability. And I'm not saying this from my little soapbox. I'm talking to myself too, because I've been trying to become more accountable in my life of the things that I've been doing. And there's a lot of people that, like, for instance, they like to rush into relationships, right? They get out of a relationship and they just want to rush into the next relationship because they don't want to think about what's happened before. And it hurts sitting in that, because it hurts sitting alone. It hurts because you miss that love. You need that love. I just need somebody around just to make me forget about this person that I was with before, and they did me so wrong and all these other things. I get it. I was there. As soon as I got out of a relationship, I wanted to go into another relationship just so I don't want to think about this other person. But the thing is, when you do that, you are doing a disservice to yourself, because you're not forcing yourself to think about what is happening. You're not forcing yourself to sit there and really think, like, what happened? What went wrong? What did they do? What are the red flags that I missed? What did I do? Where did I mess up at? Oh man, I could have did that better. Oh man, I could have did this better. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have stayed out there late. I should have listened more when they were trying to talk to me about this, because it goes both ways. In almost every relationship, not entirely everything is almost the other person's fault. You got to take some accountability too, man. You know what? They showed me that. I saw that red flag and I just put it in my pocket. I should have left it on the floor, but I put it in my pocket. I just kept collecting red flags. It was like, oh, another red flag. I just take, okay, it's fine. It's fine. It probably won't be there. Oh, another red flag. I'll just take that one too. So it's like at that point, it's not entirely the other person's fault. They showed you all these red flags. You just kept collecting them. So being accountable, you kept collecting them. So some of that is your fault too. And that's okay. That is okay. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. So now, moving forward, I can't keep collecting these red flags. When somebody shows me red flags, I can't keep collecting these things. No, I'm leaving that on the ground, leaving that where it is. All right, moving on. And I'm saying this because, and another one of my last points, we talk about a lot of times where celebrities, like for instance, I've said this before. I'm like, man, Chris Brown needs some real friends. So some of the stuff that he has, the decisions that he makes, if he had a real friend, they'd be like, hey man, don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's gonna be bad. If you have a real friend, right? But a lot of celebrities typically have a lot of yes men and yes women around them. Where it's just like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing this. And they don't care as long as that money coming in. Yeah, man, do whatever. You crazy. Whatever. And it ain't hurting them because it's hurting you, the celebrity. Well, whoever that celebrity is, it's hurting them. But if you had a real friend to tell you, hey, don't do that. Hey, bro, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Hey, sis, don't do that. No, that's stupid. Don't do that. Think. Don't do that. And I know you're emotional right now, but just pump the brakes. Think. How is this going to hurt you down the line? You know what I'm saying? Think. And it's not just celebrities. A lot of regular people don't have real friends. They don't. Because you have a lot of, because they don't want to hurt their friends' feelings. And they just sit there and just let them do and say whatever. And then that you end up finding like, why am I keep being in this situation? Why ain't nobody told me blah, blah, this and that and the other? Ain't nobody told me this dude wasn't good for me. Ain't nobody told me this girl wasn't good for me. Because you ain't got no real friends. Or if you are one of those friends who aren't being real, be a real friend. That's where you can be accountable. Is it potentially going to hurt the relationship? Like, hey, look, I'm just telling you this. I'm saying this out of love. I care about you and I love you. You might not like me after this, but I want to say, I don't want you to go later on and, man, this person never warned me or never shared with me whatever, what I should have been shared. And I've done that recently. We're just like, hey, look, I'm going to be a friend. You might not like me after this, but I want to tell you because, you know, I'm sending a thing. I don't think anybody is telling this person what they need to hear. Now, for the other person that you're telling, it's up to them whether they want to take it or not. Now, whether they take it and take your advice, cool. If they don't take your advice, cool. Hey, at least I said something. I told you. Now, I'm not gonna, don't rub it in their face. I told you that man wasn't no good for you. I told you, man, that girl wasn't no, I mean, I wouldn't say just completely rubbing in their face, but just, you know, be a good friend. We have a lot of people that's just not being friends to one another. We're not being really honest with each other, with our friends, with our relatives, with whoever. And we're seeing the crazy, destructive things they're doing, and we're allowing them to keep doing it. We're not being good friends. We're not being good neighbors. We're not being a good community to one another. Accountability. That's what I'm talking about with accountability. So I'm sorry, I went on that rant again. I appreciate. I'm enjoying y'all tuning in too. And somebody said, "Okay, we'll stop talking about heaven." I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying don't not talk about him. There's nothing wrong with talking about him, but let's not grab these low hanging fruits, man. Let's stop grabbing. He a beta man. He just gay. Look how he dressed. Look, stop. That's stupid. Stop it. That does not move the conversation forward. Almost, you're just a hater at that point. Because what other points do you have outside of that? If somebody is beating me in an intelligent conversation and I have nothing to say, what you get? You just gay. Whatever. Look at how you dress. I mean, that's very bottom of the barrel. Now I'm scraping, trying to grab whatever just so I can attack you because I'm losing. And people hate to lose. And it's like, you're not gonna win every battle. Why do we have to fight every battle? You can't win every battle. You can't win every battle. Choose your battles. Choose your battles, win the war. Choose your battles. And I'm saying this, not even just in this conversation about Kevin, this is with a lot of things. A lot of people out there are trying to go out and fight every battle. Every battle that shows up, I gotta fight on this. I gotta be right. I gotta be right about this. I can't be wrong. I gotta be right. And it's just, you end up hurting yourself. You're tiring yourself out. You're stressed out. You're working yourself to an early grave. Stop it. Stop. Choose your battles. Some stuff ain't, and I get it now. I remember when my my dad was telling me when him and my mom, when they would kind of argue every once in a while, and then he was trying to teach my brother about something when he was having, just arguments here and there, as couples do, with his wife. And he was trying to tell my brother, he's like, all right, son, like, they don't just leave it alone, leave it alone. He's like, no, man, because my brother, he was like, I'm right, I want to be right, and he was just like, hey, leave it alone. I'm telling you, leave it alone. I promise you, man. Like basically, like a year or two later, my brother gets in there. He's like, okay, I understand, I get it, because my dad used to say, hey, I want peace. I want peace. If I can have peace, I want peace in the house. I want peace. You can't win every battle. And I just say all of that to say you don't have to like. I'm not telling you to like Kevin Samuels. I'm not telling you to love him. I'm not saying any of that. But let's just be emotionally immature, because we go around with a million excuses for people, and it's a lot of our people who are damaged, who are hurt, and we're protecting them. We're protecting our people in a lot of the wrong ways. Some ways, yeah, we should protect them. Other ways, like, hey, you need to be held accountable. No, that's wrong. What you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. How you're treating this other person, that's your neighbor, that's your friend, that's wrong. How you're treating whatever, yada yada, that's wrong. And Tanya said, nah, he's a hot mess. And hey, I mean, and that's fine. Again, I respect your opinion. So that's fine. But I would say, instead of listening to these, because a lot of us are being swayed and tricked into these little click, these sound bites, right? And you're not seeing the entire interview. Watch an entire video of him talking to these people, especially like that one video that went viral where he was talking to that girl. Watch the entire video, or go and watch another video, and just let it play. I'm not telling you to go down a rabbit hole and watch so many of his videos, but just watch. I say watch the entire video because a lot of time these sound bites are taken out, and we see this stuff that's out of context. We don't get the context because context means a lot. What's the context? That's why I try to ask, what's the context? Now, when somebody shows me something, I'm like, okay, what's the context? Because otherwise, I'm just judging the person, and I don't even know what really happened. I don't know what was said before or what was said after, or what the entire conversation was. How did this even start? How did this even come about? So, and I say that because we're being emotionally manipulated. Don't let yourselves be emotionally manipulated. You're being emotionally manipulated, man. We have to start taking control over what's being presented to us to stir our emotions up and to get us all hyped up and crazy and start yelling and screaming at each other or judging one another. And we don't even know what's going on. We don't even know what happened. How did it lead to this? What happened? So I just say all of that, man. And just like somebody, Tanya said, hurt people, and that's real. Hurt people. So I'm not here. Black said it exactly, but they're not ready for that conversation. Well, hey, this is a conversation I wanted to present, man, because a lot of us are being swayed, and I'm not swaying you one. I'm not trying to sway you one way or another. Like I said, you can believe what you want to believe, but at least go out and seek the truth. Don't just let somebody tell you. Even me, don't even let me. That's why I said, hey, go and look at this video. After you watch an entire video of him talking to a person and you get the context, maybe you're still like, yeah, but I still don't. Whatever. That's fine. That's okay. Hey, that is your prerogative, and you have a right to believe what you. But just like Conscious, you said, facts over feelings. We are letting our feelings lead. And I want to leave off on this. I know, I mean, nobody, I don't think anybody said it, but somebody might be like, why are you caping for, Kevin Samuels? I hope nobody thinks that, because I'm not. I don't care if he watches this or not. I don't care if he agrees with me or not, or I don't care if he well, I guess if he appreciates it, that's fine. But I mean, that's not doing anything different from me. But I just want to be, I want to be fair. And we talk a lot about being fair, but let's be fair. If we're going to hold men accountable or whatever, all this other stuff, we have to do the same for women. Women have to be held accountable for their actions, for their choices, same like men. Just people in general. And this isn't even a man versus woman thing. People need to be held accountable. Men and women. Men and women, not just men. Because I know I give you one more example. There's this one person I reached out to the other day. I was just reaching out. I was like, man, I haven't heard from this person in a while. It lives in the next complex next to me. So I just said, hey, how's it going? I haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything going okay? And they were just like, yeah. And this was hours later. They messaged back, oh yeah, everything's good. And I've just been busy, whatever, blah blah blah. And I was just like, oh, clearly, LOL. And this person messaged back, well, what do you mean clearly? And in quotation, I was just like, well, I mean, yeah, you've been busy. I haven't heard from you in a few months, so yeah, clearly you've been busy. And then they were like, I'm still not understanding what you mean. I was just like, like I said, well, I haven't heard from you in a while. Like, well, I haven't heard from you either, because blah, 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 trying to turn it around on me. Like, you haven't reached out and messaged me. So I was just like, well, I mean, I'm messaging now. And I looked back at the message and I saw that I was like, and the last time I messaged you, you never responded. So I'm like, hey, regardless, you know what? I was just checking in on you. I'm just trying to see if you're okay. You're fine. I'm glad you're fine. Then, and this was a woman, and I would just say this, and she was like, oh, yeah, well, I just been busy, and sometimes I get so overwhelmed, and blah 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 blah, and all of that she just said, I never heard. You know what? I'm sorry. I never responded back. I'm sorry. And this is just, and not even just because she's a woman or whatever. Just people in general. I don't like. Humble yourself. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what? That's my fault. I'm sorry. You did message me. I'm sorry. I just kind of went off on you because I thought you would whatever, and you were just checking in on me because you care. And that stuff right there. But that goes to like her, and this is like this white woman, and that goes to just there are, and not saying all, because I know there's some women in here that are very responsible, very accountable. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. But there are a good portion of women out there who don't like being held accountable. And I'm not saying that there aren't men that don't like being held accountable either, but there's more of the narrative to where it's okay to bash men and they're not accountable and blah, blah, blah. But what about the other conversation? There are a lot of women out there who don't like being held accountable. So again, accountability. Accountability is important. And it's okay to be wrong. You can't be right all the time. Sometimes I'm wrong. And it's okay. I can't be right all the time. I can't. There's no way I can be right all the time. I'm not Jesus. I'm not God. I can't be right all the time. And that's okay. Same thing with you. You can't be right all the time. And if that is hard for you to admit, for real, seriously, seek therapy. Seek some help. Not just your friends. Don't just talk, because like I said, again, they might not even be your real friends. They might not be telling you the truth. Oh, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you because blah, blah, blah. Oh, man, bro, you good, man. Don't even worry about that. No, seek therapy. Seek help. If you find it hard to admit when you're wrong, to say I'm sorry when you've done something wrong, you need some help. You need to get over there, because I want you to be better. I want you to grow, and I want you to develop. Because like I said, when you need medicine, you never want to take medicine. Nobody ever wants to hear the truth, but you need to hear the truth. In order for us to grow, and especially as a community, in order for us to grow and develop and become stronger and become one unified and stop tearing one another down. And I know some people think what Kevin Samuels doing, oh, you're tearing this person down, but there's a truth that he's telling. I'm telling you a truth. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. And that's just being real. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. They'd rather live a beautiful lie. I'd rather live in this beautiful lie, and it's somebody else's fault. It's not my fault. I don't know why in this situation. Yeah, everybody else is wrong. It ain't me. I just wish. No. You're hurting yourself, and if you have kids, you're hurting them. That trickles down, man. That stuff trickles down. You are not doing yourself, nor your kids, nor the people around you any favors by still being a toxic person, not trying to grow, not trying to hold yourself accountable, not trying to learn to love yourself. None of that stuff, because you would rather somebody lie to you, and you don't want to face, you don't really want to look into the mirror and see what's really there. And it's okay to do that. And I'm not saying that, that like you're ugly in the mirror or anything like that, but look in the mirror, hold yourself accountable, and then learn that growth process, that love process. Start working on yourself. Start loving on yourself. Start loving on other people. And let's stop tearing. I'm seeing stuff all the time. I mean, Umar Johnson, that's a whole nother conversation, but we're constantly tearing one another down in public. We need to stop doing that. Stop tearing those Black figures, unless it's somebody that's really like Daniel Cameron, who wasn't trying to bring justice to Breonna Taylor. People like that, tear them down. As a unit, we need to come together, tear this dude down, because you will be replaced by somebody else who will have our community in the best interest. But other than that, for people who are genuinely trying to help, and people are saying, hey, this person helped me, and all this other stuff, we need to stop tearing one another down in public so much. You stop doing that. You start loving and uplifting one another. We're just constantly, and I get it, sometimes it's for jokes. I get it. But we need to stop doing that so much. It's somebody said Pastor coming out, man. I don't know. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, man. I appreciate this. Let's get rid of this toxicness. Actually, before I go, I know some people say like the Patreons or whatever, my Patreons, but I like to call mine investors. My investors. I appreciate y'all for investing in Barbara. There's also John Fitzgerald Guillory. They are monthly contributors. I appreciate that. And Kristen Fisher, who is a contributor for the month, she did the one thing. Y'all can do that too if you want to contribute only one time. I'll show you how to do that. If you want to patronize to the JT Effect, and you appreciate what I'm talking about, you appreciate what I'm giving, and you want to hear more, and you really you just want to support Black media, you can either like this video, or if you want to patronize, you want to be an investor, like I said, you can give $1, $5, or $10. Just go to anchor.fm/JTFX/support. Again, it's anchor.fm/JTFX/support, and you can give $1, $5, or $10. If you want to give more than that, or you want to give some other amount, you can go to paypal.me/ThomasHarryVisions. Again, it's paypal.me/ThomasHarryVisions, or you can Cash App me and just put, supporting Black media, whatever, so that way I know what it's for. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all are, man, my Black people, man. Y'all are beautiful. We got some work to do, but man, I love y'all. Y'all, I wouldn't be anything else. Be one all the way. Somebody said I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you too. I like you. I like y'all too. I ain't gonna say I love y'all. I love y'all too. Y'all all right with me, man. Share this video, hit the like button, leave your comments, continue the conversation. I love to come back and see what y'all say, and just continue to love yourself, treat one another better. Subscribe to the Black Boss channel if you haven't. Subscribe to the JT Effect. You can find me on Facebook at the JT Effect, on Instagram at the JT Effect, Twitter, I think the same thing, at the JT Effect, maybe show, at the JT Effect show. And yeah, just reach out, and I appreciate it. Love y'all. Have a great rest of the day. Treat yourself and one another better. All right, love y'all. Peace.